Okay, 2026, guys, we're here. Wow. First episode of the new year. I guess technically it's not the first episode of the new year. I did have a bonus episode, but that was bonus episode for season 19. We're in season 20, and that was great. I had Wade Simmons on from Chicago. He works on Chicago PD, and we got to talk about Stranger Things. And I'll be honest with you, I could talk about that forever. I should do it. I have a friend who's like, hey, is this episode going to be about Stranger Things? And I'm like, don't listen. What do you want from me? If it is about Stranger Things, who cares? It's my show. I still want to talk about it. But this episode's not about Stranger Things. It's not about Stranger Things. Matter of fact, this episode has taken on a life of its own as it normally does. I mean, we ended the year and we're past that. We are, however many days in, 8, 9 days. I don't know what date it is into the new year. And for many of us, it means a lot of things. It means budgeting. Because no matter what you do, no matter what no matter what the plans were for the holidays or what the expenses were for the holidays, and let's say maybe you don't celebrate Christmas. Yeah, okay. Maybe you don't celebrate Hanukkah. Maybe you don't travel during that time. And maybe it's just a normal time for you. Maybe your expenses don't change. But I think the vast majority of the population out there in the United States falls into the category of your expenses go higher, whether that be for gifts, travel, you have guests coming to see you, so you have extra food, you're baking, you're buying more alcohol. Either way, it goes up. Your spending goes up, and everybody tries to conserve and tries to watch that spending. So January is that moment where you're like, hey, we're tightening back up. We're getting back on track. We're paying off on some things. I'm not talking about New Year, New Me. I'm not talking about any of that stuff. I'm just simply saying that happens, okay? And for me, and I've talked about it before, yes, I'm getting back on track as far as budgeting. I'm not doing good 9 days in, or 8 days in, but I'm back. I need a car. Okay. You guys heard my episode just a mere couple weeks before Christmas about the car situation. Okay. So I need a car. And that supersedes my entertainment and my coffee, going out and all that. I make good coffee here. So I'm focusing on that. I'm working out a lot more. I'm eating better, although I say that and I just had 2 egg rolls. Yep. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I had 2 egg rolls. That's my dinner. I had a bomb breakfast this morning. Eggs, avocado, cantaloupe, bomb. Lunch, protein shake, 2 egg rolls. So I gotta stop that. But they were so good. But so for me, I'm back. We all have those things we focus on. But I have to be honest with you, man. 2025, dude, it's brutal, and it's over now. And I believe in leaving things in 2025. But from the time that I did that last episode to now, I've been through a lot, and I'm not going to spend a lot of the time, God, my ears, talking about it. I'm not going to dive into grave detail about it because I don't want to. But I had a situation the day after Christmas where I had to call 911 and take my son to the hospital. And he's okay. Knock on wood. Everything's fine as far as we know. They checked, they eliminated all the stuff they thought it was. So I'm still not in a good spot mentally, parentally, and emotionally, spiritually about the situation. I'm not. I'll be honest. It's got me thinking a lot. It's got me probably over parenting at certain times. I'm going to be real with you because it was very scary. And if you weren't there, but if you're a parent, you understand, or if you can just be in that situation, understand. And I know there's some people out there like, yeah, kids go through those weird things. Nope, you weren't there. I don't want to hear that stuff. You weren't there. I called 911 for my son. What do you think? You think I do that on a regular basis? So I was scared, and I pray a lot. It makes me cry when I think about that moment because I felt worthless and helpless. Um, but that's how we ended it. That happened the day after one of the best days of his year, and then that night, or was it the next night? I think it was the next night. Fire alarm goes off at 4 o'clock in the morning. And I'm not talking about smoke detector change the battery. I'm talking about the complex goes off. I got to walk outside, grab everything, grab every cat, fish, you got water and all that stuff and go outside. Turns out it was just a water leak. I'm going to give you the short story, or it was just a water pressure sensor. Come back in my apartment. There's a giant leak in my ceiling. Fire line broke. When they flushed the water out, came crashing through my ceiling. Giant hole in it. Carpet. Boom. I'm living with the upside down hole in my ceiling. Now they just replaced the carpet and they started the process of the drywall and everything. Got no sleep. 2 nights in a row, no sleep. Okay. Everything's fine. You got to look at the positives. Luke could have been in a worse situation. There could have been a fire. I understand that. But that's how I ended the new year. Now the actual New Year's Eve, I had a great time with my son, hanging out. But it's crazy how you try to get in that mindset of like starting over. Because it's not about resolutions, but it is a good point to start over. For me at work, it is very slow right now. Thank God. So I'm doing all these projects that I wanted to do. That I said after the holidays, we're going to focus on this. I'm still focusing on sales and my goals and events, but we're going to focus on this. We're going to focus on these projects, and I've knocked 2 of them out already. We've got a third one underway. And while still trying to generate sales and revenue and create excitement in the department and not just piss away the month of January. But there's also some other things happening, some work stuff happening. I got to go help grand open a store. So I'll be out of town for a few days. I've got potential for about some things for my next steps. Anyway, so all these things. So it's a good time of year to kind of go in. I'm doing some serious deep cleaning when I'm done recording. The Christmas stuff has been put away. I took it down like the Saturday after New Year's. But now it's like, okay, let me go in my son's closet and let's reorganize. Let's tackle that bedroom, tackle each room and baseboards and let's just reset and give that nice cleansing that you want, minus the giant hole in my ceiling. So a lot of people do that. And then you start getting your mindset ready for the upcoming year and upcoming months and all that. And I think there's a lot to look forward to in 2026 on a business level, on a work level, on a professional level, on an entertainment level. We've got some amazing. It's the year of doom for Marvel, and they've been leaking some serious, like teasing us with these 4 different teaser trailers. We're on round 3, I believe, of teaser trailers for Doom. We've got some great potential music coming. I mean, Kendrick's back in the studio, rumor has it. We ended 2025 with some amazing hip hop, but Kendrick's back in the studio, whatever that means. But there's some, Bruno Mars just announced he's got a new album coming out. I don't know how many people are like thrilled, but I'm like, dude, it's been a while. I'm not against that. So there's some music, there's movies, there's some shows coming. We're going to get some finalized shows. We're going to get some other seasons coming up. There's some cool things that are happening on the entertainment world, on the music world. Sports, my Lions are not in the playoffs. They're not going to the Super Bowl. Quite frankly, I don't even care about the Super Bowl. If my team's not in it, I don't care. I'm going to use it as a day to stay home, make some great snacks. I think Luke is going to be there with me. um, and we'll put the game on, watch the commercials. But honestly, it's just an opportunity to hang out. My college football team pissed the bed. So did Michigan. So that's cool. That made me happy. And then their coach got fired, so that makes me happy too. My coach, sucked too, and we hired a new guy too. So what are you gonna do? But my goal, I think, if I had to say something, we have the podcast, that is advancing. Yes, I've been talking about the new studio lineup. It's coming, guys. I posted pictures on Instagram just the other day, and you could see my boxes. It's also a financial thing, guys, but it's happening really soon. So I'm excited about that. I think it's going to help me out a lot, sound wise, lighting, vibe, all that. So I'm excited about that. I think it's time to take the podcast to the next level and really emphasize on the website and social media and streaming, because the reality is social media ain't paying anything these days. Okay. Ever since America got involved with TikTok, the payments suck. The opportunities are there, and I'm grateful for them. I've been watching a lot of movies, Cinemark, Pixel Scene Media. I've had some really cool interviews, some of which I've been able to record and I'll post later. Others I can't. They just won't let me. But they ain't paying nothing. So I think the way to go is to do what I'm doing in 2026 and how I'm going to progress this show. So there's a lot going on. It's an opportunity, new car. I'm going to buy a new bed. Like those are things. We're talking about trips. My trips are in the air. I have a trip in the fall. I think we're going to a cabin this summer, but I also plan on going to Chicago. And I have to be honest with you, there's some question marks about that for some certain reasons that I don't know if I want my son to be in an atmosphere that could be explosive, if I'm being honest. And I've talked about that before. But it's going to be a much dialed down trips this summer, as we just did Disney last summer. So I ain't got the Disney money. Daddy needs a new car. But on a personal life, on a personal level, and I don't know. I go through these phases. I don't text a lot of people Happy New Year at midnight. I think it's like happy birthday. I think if you don't say things to them throughout the year very much, why do you just do it on New Year's? It's like a participation badge. But I also don't expect a lot of text messages on New Year's. And this is the weird thing about people like me. Ruska, get out of here. Like I'm very social, and I have to be social for my job, and I have to be social for the show. And I like to be around the people I like to be around. I am aware that I am not as social as I used to be. And I am aware that I will bail. Or not even bail, just say no to a lot of things. Part of that is because my battery's drained by the time I'm done with my days at work, because it requires me to be on a social level all the time, very high. So I'm kind of burnt out. And then all I want to do is give my attention at home on that social level to my son. Guys, I'm not going to repeat myself. I've talked about this. But I found out during the holidays, and I screwed up. There's a couple people I needed to call on Christmas, and I didn't. I got wrapped up in my own thing, and I did not take the time. And I mean my own thing with Luke. I did not take the time to reach out to others. So that kind of sucked. But in the same sense, I apologize for that too, to the two people that I didn't get to reach out to. But in the same sense, ain't nobody called me on Christmas. And it's okay. Spend time with your loved ones and the people in front of you and do what you have to do. That's what it's about. I'm not going to get my feelings hurt. And I have to make that very clear. I don't have my feelings hurt now. But New Year's hit, I didn't hear from anybody. Okay. And that happens as you get older. You're not in the same circles. But some of the people that I thought I'd heard from didn't reach out. And somebody could be like, well, Brandon, did you reach out? Some I did, some I didn't. But these are the same people that would throw a fit if I didn't reach out, and did throw a fit because I didn't reach out. You didn't reach out to me. Then by the time you realized that I didn't reach out, you didn't say, I'm going to connect with him. I know he's busy with Luke. Maybe something's wrong. He's been through a lot. Nothing. And it got me thinking that going into 2026, I need to do a better job. And I think I'm doing it, of just letting it go. Somebody said something to me like, how did you get, and I'm going to quote this wrong, how did you get to the point that you don't care? That you're so strong, like not strong, but calm. And you're not angry about these certain things. Not this particular thing, but just things. People that wronged you or you find out about. And I told them, I said, the reality is it's not a matter of not caring. It's a matter of I'm 47 years old. And I spent a lot of my life thinking I had to be the guy that sought justice and made my point and got them and dropped a nuke on that bridge and burned that bridge and then rebuilt it and burned it again, or had to, stand up for what was right in whose eyes. It's like arguing. What is the point of fighting with somebody? I'm not saying there's a difference between fighting and sticking up for yourself and your family and your loved ones. Those are two different things. I'm talking about this person said this, pissed you off. What is the point if you confront them? And I'm not saying you shouldn't always, but you confront them, they deny it, they think they're in the right, you think you're in the right. Those are just feelings, unless it's a black and white scenario. You thinking that this person said this and meant it this way, and you feel this way, that's on you. 100%. Your feelings are nobody made you feel that way. You feel that way. Now, you didn't like the answer, you didn't like the reaction, you didn't like the way somebody said something, their tone, their choice words, but you don't know what was in their head. Unless they're yelling at you and giving you that exclamation mark and dropping F-bombs at you, you don't know what is in their head. Maybe they just said the word wrong. Maybe they just formulated wrong. Maybe they just stumbled over their thoughts and you felt this way. So instead of saying, hey, the other day when you said that, did you mean you want to get in your feels and stew on it and then be like, well, that person doesn't know how to communicate. That person said this. No, that's you. That's your fault. That is only your fault. It's arrogant of us to go around and think that we should be able to control what other people say and that everything that we feel is right and you're always in the right. You could just be wrong. So for me, I don't care. Okay? If I'm worried about the conversation and I'm worried about fighting with somebody, or I'm worried about how the outcome of this conversation goes or what was said and the meaning behind it, then I'm just going to ask them, hey man, what was that? What was up with that? Oh, dude, nothing, man. I didn't mean it that way at all. Or, hey, you know what? Yeah, I did this. Okay, now we got an open dialogue. But I'm not going to get in my feels and get angry and fight. It's not worth it. And also, I told this person, we have to stop caring about what other people say. That's a big thing. It's okay to be proud of yourself. It's okay to want people to look at you with respect or, hey man, I hope they don't think I'm a dick. But if they do think I'm a dick, maybe it's my fault. Maybe they didn't get to know me. Maybe we just clash. I'm not going through life trying to prove to everybody that I'm not a dick. Because guess what? Here's the funny thing. I can be that. But if they just want to look at this one incident and make their complete justification or make their complete analysis of who I am based off this one incident, well, I don't really care. And I'm not going to give thoughts to people I don't know. If people I don't know say something about me because whatever, then okay, good or bad, it holds no weight. I'm going to worry about the people that are in my camp, and I'm going to worry about the people that I know. I'm going to stop worrying about the people that just ain't around no more. But I've noticed, and I got to do a better job. Personal life is whatever. At 47, I don't know. I mean, I'm not in a position to really have much of a personal life. You know what I mean? I'm not in the position. My iPad's blowing up right now with text messages. It's a number. So you're not even saved. So you're irrelevant. But I'm just not in a position, and I think it's acceptance. I think I'm accepting instead of trying to hold on to those people that just don't want to be held on to. I'm accepting, yeah, just go. Like, just go. I'm good. I got my own trials and tribulations and my strengths and weaknesses and opportunities and my own hurdles I have to get over. I don't need to worry about if you feel this way, if you're going to talk to me, how come you didn't text me? I've been that way, but I feel like it's even more so now. And I feel like I'm able to do it without an anger. And I've been doing it without anger, but I feel like I'm able to be like, eh. Because the older you get, the less F's you have to give. I'm 47 years old. I didn't have many F's to give 20 years ago. I certainly don't have any F's to give now. I want to rock out and do the best I can at work because I believe I am better than most of the people in my industry. I said it. I think I have a certain set of skills that are different and unique enough. And that's not me being cocky. That's me knowing my worth. And I should get paid for that. And I do. And I should advance that and hopefully pass that on to others if I can. Bring these people together. Unify these people. I'm not there to make enemies at my job. But I'm there to go, guys, you can't do this. I'm here. I can. Let's go. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's not putting anybody down. That's just the way it is. There are other people that have certain set of skills that I can learn from. So I want to advance that. But I also am like, I want to do that at work. I want to have fun doing my extracurriculars. And I want to be the best dad I can. And in order to do that, I've got to focus on clearing out all this other crap that sometimes rears its ugly head. I had a situation the other day that popped up, and it did make me mad. I'll tell you why. Because I felt like I was being in an unjust situation, and I felt like I was having. It wasn't directed at me, but I felt like it wasn't about. It was kind of about getting your props, but I feel like it was a situation where when this particular situation happened, it was before I was brought it, kind of into the mix. I was in the mix, but I wasn't. And then I found out it continued to happen, and I'm like, well, wait a minute. Why do I feel like I'm getting passed over? Why do I feel like I'm in this unjust situation? And it made me mad. But I think it was there to deter me from what my real goal is. I think I had every right to be mad because I think I have the receipts to prove otherwise. And I'm being very vague about this for a particular reason. But because of that, I said, okay, I'm going to use that as an opportunity and motivation to go this way so I can get to the next goal instead of focusing on this thing that is unjust. And I don't think it's right, but it's not hurting me and it's not hurting my family. It's not hurting my job. I'm going to take that and go, okay, well, this is how I'm going to use this to get to this. And that's why you just have to remain that way. You have to better yourself and remain that way. And I think a lot of people in January, in particular in the new year, get so hung up on New Year, New Me, on these unrealistic goals and resolutions. And then when they fail, because you're going to fail at some point, and that's okay, a lot of them revert back or they carry things that happen from 2025 into 2026. I think you learn from that. Like, you keep doing the same thing, you get the same results. That's insanity. I've done that. But I think me this year, I want to sit there and go, you know what, guys? You don't call or text. I'm just not going to. And it's okay. And I've done that. But I think I got to even do it with a bigger level. And I know some people are like, well, that's not really fair. Some people get really busy. You can get really busy, but you can't get busy for months on months on end. And honestly, some people have been talking about how busy they are for years. And just finally, it like dawned on me like, you're not busy. You just don't want to be a part of my life. And that's okay. I ain't got room for you. And I think it's time. I guess what I'm getting at here is I think it's time that we do a better job of looking ahead while still living in the moment. And I mean, looking ahead at the good things. If you're in a crap moment, you know you're going to get out of it. It's just like a good moment. That good moment's not going to last forever. So you embrace it. So if you're in the crap moment, you fight to get out of it and then you embrace what you learned out of it. And it's hard. It's hard to do because I've been in some crap moments. I'm still in crap moments. And I'm trying to learn what's in it and what do I need to do to better my time in here. If I'm doing 10 years in the clink, okay, now I'm doing some hard time while I'm in here. How can I make this hard time better? Well, don't add to it. Don't get any offenses while you're here. You know, it's like, and that's what you have to do. And I think a lot of people struggle with that and they start reverting back to the things that they did in 2025. And I'm using that as an example that they didn't want to do. If you don't want to drink in January, you want to do dry January, do it. You have all the opportunity in the world to do it. Don't let one bad day at work put you back behind a bottle of wine or some whiskey. You know, I'm doing dry January. Now, I went out a couple days ago to Tufts, but that's it. I don't have anything else. I'm not doing anything else. I got a ton of booze in my house. I'm good. But I do that on a regular basis. I take a break. Guys, I'm in a point here where I could see myself at any given time saying, I think I'm done drinking. And I know I work in that industry and I talk about it a lot, and I enjoy it, but I can't tell you how much I can go without it. I thought about having wine tonight. I'll be 1,000% honest with you. And I said, nah, I don't want to. I'm off tomorrow. I want to get up early, go to the gym. I don't want to. If I stay up late, drink wine, I'm just going to want to eat something I don't want to eat. I don't think there's anything wrong with bailing on it. But I'm also not unrealistic to think that I've got an event late February. I'm probably going to drink. But that's like 2 months away, like almost 2 months from now. I mean, it's January, so I guess it's like a month and a half from now. But if you're taking time off, man, set those goals for yourself. And if you're struggling with dry January, then every time you think you're going to have a drink, do something. Set yourself up for success. Man, if I feel like I'm going to have a drink, I'm going to go for a walk. If I feel like I want to go have a drink, I'm going to do this. I'm going to try these NAs. There's so many non-alcs out there. I'm going to try it. If your goal is to get to the gym in January, which I think it's just a stupid goal, and I'm not making fun of anybody, but it's such an obvious goal. But if you're one of those people, and I know somebody right now who that was their goal, and they started before January, I thought that was the best thing they could do. Because when you start in January, I feel like you're going to get burned out because of everybody that has that 3 weeks of, I got to lose weight, and then I don't care anymore. I'm not saying it's a stupid goal to get healthy. My goal is to get healthy. My goal is to work out more. Okay. But I've been working out, I've been running. Running is hard lately. I'll be honest. My knee is killing me. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to watch what I eat. Well, cutting the drinking down. God knows I drink enough pumpkin spice lattes to last me till next year. And then I kind of tapped out on the peppermint mochas. You're only getting fatter with those. Black coffee again. Okay. And you're not drinking and you're working out more. Naturally, you're going to start dropping no matter how old you are. But I'm not going to kill myself if I'm like, I had a drink. Give yourself a realistic moment and live it. Don't just do it because it feels like that's the right thing to do. And I think a lot of people do that. I told you, I want to read. I'm reading more. I'm finding time instead of just wasting in front of the TV. I'm reading more. And those are goals. Those are fun, realistic, healthy goals. I'm not one of these people like, I heard this girl say, man, I'm getting myself a boyfriend this year. That's your goal, is to get a boyfriend? And you need a whole year to do it? If you just want somebody, you can find somebody. But if you're talking like real boyfriend, I think you're setting yourself up for a failure, because guess what? It ain't gonna happen right away. Not swiping left, right, up, down, whatever, not going to the bar. Like, you can't force that unless you just want to be with somebody. I don't feel that way. I don't feel that way. And I liked the last person I was with a lot. We'd probably still be together, if we didn't have that convo that we realized, like, maybe we shouldn't be, you know what I mean? And it was a good convo. I talked about it. I like her a lot. She's still not with anybody. So I'm like, oh, but but I'm not out there like looking. I need to be with somebody. I don't want to be with anybody. I'm also realizing I don't want to be around certain people. There's certain people that I'm like, I'm done being nice. I'll be nice to you, but I don't have to hang out with you. I'm done being like, all right, this person's been bugging me to go out for a while. Let me go out with them and have a drink or go to a restaurant or go play pool or whatever they want to do. And then I'm like, oh, why am I doing this? I don't want to hang with you, but I'm just doing it to be nice. And I'm not talking about like just females. I'm talking about friends. There are people that have invited me out that I'm like, I don't want to hang out with you. Okay. Yes, we can talk. And yes, I'll see you at work, or if I see you at a function, it's great, but I don't want to do this one-on-one grab lunch situation. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to do it. It's not being mean. It's just being nice to myself. It's putting me first, and that's the way it should be, right? And I don't mean don't take care of others. I'm just talking about, why? I'm 47. Leave me alone. And I think we have to do that, because then you really feel better about yourself, and then you feel more confident, and then you can cross off those goals, and then you can be with the people that you want to be with. I love my people, and I will always love my people, and I will always have their back, even when I don't want to be with them. But I'm done wasting my time on people that I feel like it's not necessarily that they did anything to me. I'm just done wasting my time on people that you're not part of it. And it's okay that you're not part of it. And I'm sorry that you want to be part of it. Or maybe you don't want to be part of it and you just want more friends at your events. I'm not that guy. 20 years ago, probably that guy. Now, I'm good. And that's what my 2026 is. My 2026, I want it to be mellow. And I want to get a new car. And I want that to be the excitement. I want Luke and I to be in the pool. And I want us to travel to the places we want to travel. And I want to hang out with the few people I want to hang out with. And that's it. I want to be boring. Boring, safe, conservative, and just take care of what I got to take care of. That's my goal for myself. A very simplistic goal. And rock out on the podcast and show you my new studio. Done. So, anyway, I'm out. Next week, awesome episode. Tune in. Don't forget to follow the Life on Average Show anywhere you listen to your favorite podcast. You can go to the website as well, social media, all that fun stuff, and look for the promos. Next week is good. Is that next week? Yeah, it's next week. And then we'll have a special guest in 2 weeks, and we're rocking. Lots of stuff. I also have a first remote podcast of 2026. So that's going to be a good time too. We'll talk about that probably next week. I'll give you a little insider on that. And that's all she wrote. I will see you then. Have a good one. Back next week.